Well, welcome to my kitchen, and we have such an exciting morning. We are going to be baking sourdough bread, and this is the diva. She has become a sourdough baker. She has an Instagram account, and so when I wanted to get into sourdough, Morgan Garner is who I reached out to. Okay, so ladies, you're gonna go home with a little sourdough starter if you wanna start this sour bread journey, and you're gonna take it home and you're just gonna put it in the fridge until you're ready to do it. So when you're ready to do it, you're gonna pull out your little jar of starter and you're gonna start to feed it. So Morgan, when I'm ready to feed my starter, what am I gonna do?
So we're gonna go ahead and get a brand new jar. Doesn't have to be this big, but a good size would be better because you have to have it room for it to grow. So I like to feed my starter a 1:3 ratio, and what that means, so if you do 40 grams of starter, you'll do 120 grams of water and 120 grams of flour. And then this is my little starter that's been in the fridge, just like y'all have. You've been feeding it a couple days already. So now we're going to do 40 grams of starter.
You see it's like stretchy.
It's like super
sticky a little bit.
So we did a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect, but close as you can to 40 would be good. So we're at 43, that's good. So now we're gonna zero the scale out again, and we're gonna do 120 grams of water. Let's see if I can still it. All right, so now we're gonna do 120 grams of flour. And I use Costco's organic all-purpose flour. You can use any unbleached flour. So you can use all-purpose or you can use bread flour. Either one is great. This, we're gonna do 120 grams of flour. Let's see here. All right, so now we wanna mix it up really well. You don't want any dry spots to be in the flour.
And now it's like pasty.
All right, and so we're gonna put the lid on. We're gonna let her sit on the counter overnight. And when you wake up in the morning, I can show you what it's gonna look like. And so this was fed last night. And when you wake up in the morning, it's gonna be super bubbly. You can kind of see it right here. It's active, bubbly, and it's ready to make our first loaf. All right, so now that our starter is active and bubbly, we're gonna go ahead and make our first loaf. So I have a bowl here. We're gonna use our scale again, and the recipe I like to use for one loaf is 125 grams of starter. So we're gonna use our active, bubbly one right here. So we're gonna put 125 grams in our bowl. All right. There we go. And now we're gonna do 355 grams of filtered water. Let me zero the scale. All right, here we go. Almost. All right, perfect. And now we wanna go ahead and mix the starter and the water to get it like a milky consistency. So we're just gonna stir it until it looks milky, and you're gonna make a mess probably, and that's okay. Okay. And now we're gonna go in with our flour. We're gonna do 500 grams of flour. All right, now we're just gonna mix the dough. It's gonna be like a shaggy dough, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're gonna mix it really well.
I like that you keep saying it doesn't have to be perfect. So don't be intimidated, ladies. It doesn't have to be perfect.
And if it doesn't turn out good the first time, you can always try again, right? So.
Yeah, that's right. It's trial and error.
Oh! Ow!
It's taken me a few times. Do I have flour?
I told you I'm so messy when I bake. We're gonna cover her up with a tea towel and let her sit for 30 minutes until we do our next step.
All right, so now it's been 30 minutes, and what do we do?
All right, so we're gonna take off our tea towel. Now we're gonna do our first stretch and fold and add our salt. So let's zero out the scale. I like to use Himalayan salt. I just get this from Costco, but you can also use sea salt. They say not to use table salt, so you can either use like Himalayan or sea salt. So we're gonna do 10 grams of our Himalayan salt here. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna do our first stretch and fold, and you literally just do what it says. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. So we're gonna go to the edge of the bread. We're gonna stretch it up and fold it over, and this is just gonna build tension in your dough.
And cover it back up?
Yep, we're gonna cover her back up, and now we're gonna do this 3 more times, 30 minutes in between. And when the time that you get to your last one, you'll see how your dough's gotten more firmer and has more tension in it, and it's ready to shape your bread.
Okay, so now we've done the stretch and fold process 4 times. We did it the first time, put the tea towel on, waited 30 minutes, did it again, 30 minutes. So now it's been 2 hours and we've done the stretch and fold 4 times.
Yep. And so now you want to let your dough sit on the counter for a bulk fermentation. My last bread that I did took about 5 to 6 hours, and I can show you what it looks like when it has bulk fermented. So I have this right here. So this has been bulk fermenting right here, and you see that she has doubled in size, and you see all the little bubbles on top. Yeah. And if I touch her, she's very light sticky, so she's not that sticky, kind of a little jiggly. So that's how you know that she is ready.
So if she's not ready, just give it more time.
All right, so she is done bulk fermenting. Now we're gonna get her out on the counter and we're gonna pre-shape her. So let's get her out.
So you're scraping her out.
Yep, we're gonna scrape her out.
Why is it feminine? Why is it a her and not a he?
I don't know, I just like to call.
It's a her. Yours can be a her or a he.
Yeah.
I guess.
I know a lot of people name theirs. I haven't actually named my starter, but I totally need to. So look at all those good bubbles right there.
Okay, I love it.
All right, so now we're gonna pre-shape the loaf. And so that's basically getting the loaf in a good shape that you want the bread to be. So we're gonna do a push and pull method. So you're gonna push the bread and you're gonna pull back. And when I pull back, I kind of just tuck under. So we're gonna push and pull, push and pull. All right, and now we're gonna let her sit on the counter for about 10 minutes and we'll be back to show you what we're gonna do next. While we're waiting, we can go ahead and get our banneton ready. So we're gonna get another tea towel out, lay her down, and I'm gonna use rice flour, but again, you can use whatever flour that you have, and I'm gonna just coat it with the rice flour so that she doesn't stick good. All right, it's been 10 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and do our final shaping and get her ready to go in the fridge. So we're gonna flip her over, and I like to do a stitch method, so you basically stitch it, pull the ends, and stitch it over like this. And this just helps the bread build tension, and you're gonna roll her up like a burrito. And we're gonna do the push and pull method again. So we're gonna push and pull and really tuck it under to make sure the dough is tight so that when you bake her, she will rise beautifully. All right, and we have our banneton right here. We're gonna go ahead and do it one more time, and we're gonna flip her upside down, cover her up for another 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to do our last step. Okay, 10 minutes is up, and we're gonna do our final stitching before she goes in the refrigerator. So we're gonna do a stitching one more time, and I just wait 10 minutes because it helps the stitches stay better than if you do it right after. So we're gonna stitch her up. Y'all are gonna have to help me name her after this. All right, after we've stitched her, we're gonna cover her up really well, and she's gonna go in the fridge overnight for a cold fermentation. All right, so I just grabbed our dough out that's been in the fridge overnight, and we're gonna go ahead and get her ready to bake. And let's unwrap her and see how she's looking.
That is perfect.
Yep.
Good job.
All right, so we're gonna lay her
look how
down.
that looks.
And so if you're really wanting your bread to look pretty, I always use rice flour. So I'm gonna do another generous amount of rice flour on top. And this just helps your design stay a little bit better. You can use regular flour if you want to, or you can use no flour at all if you're not worried about the design on it or whatever. So, and we're just gonna do a simple design today. We're gonna do like a little wheat stalk and then just do our expansion score. So here we go. All right, and she is ready to go in the oven. So I've been preheating our bread oven to 450. And I basically just put her in there, turn the oven on to 450 and let her heat up all the way. So we're gonna go ahead and get our bread oven out and get her ready to bake. She's going in.
Going in, here we go.
And I like to cook her 30 minutes with the lid on and then about 5 to 8 minutes with the lid off to get it nice and toasty on top. So.
All right, so it's been 30 minutes,
Yep.
It's beeping, so what do?
We're gonna go ahead and take the lid off of our bread and we're gonna let it stay in the oven for about 5 more minutes.
All right, it's been 5 more minutes. We're gonna take her out and see.
We're gonna go ahead and check the temperature just to make sure that it's ready to go. So I like it to be between 200 and 210, and yep, she is good. She's 207, so she's ready to be taken out.
Look at that,
There
beautiful. Well, Morgan, I've had so much fun with you, and this is exciting.
Yes, it is.
This is good bread. We're so happy that you watched our video.
Can't wait to see all the loaves you're gonna make.
Yeah, post them.